Global warming occurs because of all the pollution we're creating. Temperatures rise. And when temperatures rise, it starts a chain reaction in the environment. The chain reaction begins with polar ice caps melting, meaning huge chunks of ice fall off in a short period of time. This causes the water in the ocean to rise, causing coral reefs to die and other marine life. This affects people who rely on fishing for food. It also causes huge hurricanes to occur. These types of storms didn't happen as often thousands of years ago. We have around 12 years to make a difference before things are unchangeable.
All right, so climate change is definitely an issue that we're facing right now. I think it's only going to get worse. So for me, it's pretty scary. Well, with water contamination, I feel like that's because of climate change, and then just of course the future of my children and my grandchildren, just our future in general. Yeah, I try to reduce, reuse, recycle, carpool when I can, use reusable products, just cut down, always make sure my lights are off. I think there's always more things we can be doing. I think just letting people who maybe aren't as aware of how crucial it is that we need to take care of this earth, because it won't be here much longer. So just informing other people, and then just continuing to reduce, reuse, recycle wherever you can.
Well, climate change does mean a lot to me because obviously it's been talked about so much recently in the news and at universities, and there's a lot of people that are very passionate about it. So to me it means saving our earth and trying to make a change that we can hopefully fix our climate. Well, I saw this fact the other day. It was in 40 years there won't be any more icebergs. And our kids won't know what an iceberg is, or they won't be able to see one. They'll only see pictures of it. So there are real world effects that are coming soon. So it means a lot. Yeah, definitely in my apartment I try to recycle more and just be cautious of what I'm throwing away and what can or cannot be recycled. So I try to.
Climate change to me is the increasing carbon dioxides in the atmosphere that are getting trapped from fossil fuels and fuels that we're using today. And I really think we need to do something about it, because it's really going to affect not only us eventually, but then our kids, our grandkids, and every other generation to come. One way that climate change affects me is the water in East Lansing isn't very clean. So when I go to use it to cook and clean and drink, sometimes it's cloudy and it kind of makes me nervous. So I like to use a Brita water filter as much as I can to try to keep my water cleaner. So one way that I try to help the planet is I like to use a bamboo toothbrush so that it doesn't add more plastic and waste, because it takes a really long time for normal plastic toothbrushes to break down in the landfills. The thing that we try to do as a house to help the planet is we always have a recycling bin right next to our trash can so that we can recycle to help the planet. Also, anytime we have people over and we use cans, we collect them in big bags and take them back. For Christmas this year, I asked for reusable Meyer bags so I can bring home all my groceries in these and not use plastic ones every time I go.
Empathize. Picking global warming and climate change for my wicked problem wasn't a hard topic to choose. I've done an intense amount of research, and I'll read you some facts to put it in perspective. Our temperature is the hottest it's been in over 8,000 years. By 2050, there is expected to be more plastic in the ocean than number of fish. Global sea levels rose about 8 inches in the last century.
Water contamination.
There won't be any more icebergs.
The water in East Lansing.
Ideate. So after listening to some of the interviews, the word that caught my attention the most was water or water contamination. Personally, I would never get water out of the majority of drinking fountains in MSU's buildings because of the taste or the cloudy or yellowish look to it. So I researched how and why global warming affects water. Here's an important part found in my research. Climate change contaminates your water. Since climate change is making heavy, intense changes such as downpours and droughts, rising water temperatures are much more common. This can alter the quality of our drinking and recreational water. Bacteria and viruses thrive in these new conditions. When they come into contact with people, it can cause numerous illnesses. From 2009 to 2010, 33 water-associated diseases outbreaks were reported in the U.S. That caused 1,040 cases of illnesses, 85 hospitalizations, and 9 deaths. Some regions, like the Midwest, will experience decreased precipitation. These conditions can also impact waterborne diseases. As water sources decrease, the concentration of contaminants increase, making them much more likely to affect our health. So, people aren't going crazy when they say their water tastes weird or it looks cloudy. However, sometimes this, of course, can be due to rusty pipes, but who would want to take that chance? If it doesn't taste like good water, don't drink it. Prototype. So, what product or solution can I create that helps make sure that water is clean and purified with no bacteria and funguses in it? My idea is to create man-made waterfalls, but with natural water that has yet to be cleaned. Here I'm showing you on Photoshop what I mean to better help explain. Once the waterfalls are created, we put in very tight netting to filter out all the bad germs and bacteria contaminated in our water. You can see here that I'm drawing the nets in the red. From there, all the good and clean water will be stored at the bottom, which would look like a big pond. We can distribute this water by filling them up in water bottles and making a profit, or in very poverty-stricken areas, we could even leave the pond open for everyone to drink. These man-made waterfalls would have to be created inside and stored in a lab due to unpredictable weather. I think this solution could work for everyone and it eliminates water contamination due to climate change.